Hello, and welcome to another podcast of Krista's Korner. This week's topic is influential sport icons. You know what really grinds my gears?
Racism in sport.
A man who not only withstood, but combated racism is my main man, Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe was born in Richmond, Virginia in 1943. His excellence in tennis began at a very early age, but so did his awareness of racism. Ashe was turned away from the Richmond City Tennis Tournament in 1955 because of his race. Despite his obstacles, he won National Indoor Junior Championships 2 years in a row, earning himself a tennis scholarship to UCLA in 1963. The very same year, he became the first African-American player selected to the United States Davis Cup team. In his first match with the team, he won in straight sets. No doubt that Arthur Ashe was an outstanding athlete, but his heart was more invested in creating a better environment for players of all races. He would later become an accomplished author who wrote several books, including The History of the Black Athlete in America, A Hard Road to Glory. When he reached the peak of his career, he used his fame and success as a tool for change. In his own words, he wanted to put a crack in the racist wall. He was the first black athlete to win a Grand Slam. He won the U.S. Open in 1968, the Australian Open in 1970, and the men's singles at Wimbledon in 1975. Ashe became the first African-American to hold the #1 ranking in professional tennis in 1963 and again in 1975. He was named captain of the U.S. Davis Cup team from 1981 to 1985, winning the cup 2 times during that time period. Throughout his tennis career, he won over 30 titles, making himself very influential to other players of color in sport. Awareness of the oppressed people in South Africa came to light when Ashe was denied a visa to enter the country for the South African Open, despite being labeled as the best tennis player in the world. This commenced his 20-year campaign against apartheid. He joined a growing community of activists across the globe who were dedicated to fighting the South African government in an effort to end the country's policy of racial segregation and discrimination. Because of Ashe, tennis became another site where activists confronted apartheid. This was extremely beneficial because the sport had become very globalized. Eventually, suspension of cultural, educational, sporting, and other exchanges with the racist government and organizations in South Africa were implemented. By the end of 1970, South Africa had been banned or expelled from international competitions in basketball, and Davis Cup tennis, and many others. Fun fact, Ashe also signed a petition to boycott the Olympic Games as South Africa was participating, along with the big guys Jackie Robertson and Wilt Chamberlain. 3 years after continuously applying, Ashe was finally granted a visa in 1973. But just being granted the visa wasn't enough. He also had some requests. First of all the facilities where he would play in the South African Open would be integrated. Second of all, he would not be given honorary white status by the government to avoid full integration. Thirdly, he could visit any part of the country that he wanted. At the tournament, he won the doubles championship with his partner and placed second in the singles championship. Still, he was not too disappointed with the loss because there was a black man's name on the champions board at Ellis Park. Making Arthur Ashe a triple threat was the fact that he was dedicated to improvement. He co-founded the National Junior Tennis League in 1969 to provide opportunities for disadvantaged youth. He established tennis clinics and preached tennis discipline, providing hope for young people who needed it most. In addition, he co-founded the first men's tennis player union, the Association of Tennis Professionals, in 1972, which allowed players to be more involved with input into earnings and the schedule. In 1979, when he was ranked 7th in the world, he had an unsuspected heart attack that ended his career and led to a bypass surgery. After surgery, he received a blood transfusion and acquired HIV. He then quickly became an activist in the fight against AIDS. He formed the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the defeat of AIDS with the objective of raising $5 million to be put towards the research for a cure. Ashe also established the Arthur Ashe Institute for Urban Health, an organization that gives annual awards for the leadership in urban medicine and funds other community health organizations and research initiatives. Arthur Ashe lost his battle to AIDS in 1993 at the age of 49. Arthur Ashe received many awards for his work as an activist and was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. He understood that personal success imposes broad responsibilities to humanity. In his honor, a bronze statue was erected in his hometown depicting books in his right hand, a tennis racket in his left, and 4 children reaching up to him. Arthur Ashe did not waste his fame. He used it to leave a mark on the world, making him a model champion. And for this reason, he is your most influential sport icon. Krista! Dinner! On my podcast! And next week,